presence of the Lord is in this place tonight. It is so powerful, it's so beautiful, it's so awesome. And God has a special favor upon us this tonight. Praise God. I just have an amazing testimony. Every testimony is amazing because it's God's work. You know? God is amazing. Sometimes we kind of try to say something is better and worse. We've got to catch ourselves on that. And even the tiniest thing is always great in God's eyes. Yeah, and so I just want to encourage everybody. This Sunday I was preaching. I was specifically focusing on tithing and on giving to the Lord, that it's a new level of holiness that God has put into the church, a New Testament, a higher responsibility upon us. And as I was preaching, there was somebody watching, a family watching these sermons, and the family is in dire need. I mean, they had already no food. The mother is laying, she has been cut like from her top of her neck to the bottom because they're fixing her spinal, putting it together. The son broke both of his arms. The other daughter is in depression. Another son has some kind of mental illnesses. The father has lost conscious for 5 days and lost vision for 5 days, was just laying flat. And they were watching the sermon on Sunday, and the mother, the grandmother, or the mother of the wife says, you know what, we need to give a tithing to the Lord. And she grabbed it, she says, bring my checkbook. And she wrote, $300. And she put it, and her daughter looked at it and says, Mom, we only have 7 cents left on the account. And she says, yeah, but the Lord is speaking to us. We need to give that tithing to the Lord. And what's amazing, the next day, somebody calls them, it visits them. They bring them almost $500 worth of food, napkins, paper towels, like a detergent for their washing and dryer. They didn't have none of that. And then gave them additional $1,000 to bless their family. And I want to just encourage people that sometimes you might be sick, you might be just laying in bed, you have nothing. And on top of that, the sicknesses, no money, no food. But God is just, we need to learn to rely on the Father, even if it's the last cents left in our accounts. And I'm not doing an offering call right now. So this is just a testimony about, yes, it's a testimony that God, He works in the body of Christ. And if we just rely on Jesus Christ, on our Father, He will provide, and He will provide much more than we can imagine. So I'd like to encourage everybody, whoever may be struggling today financially, that just look over your life, look over about how we spend money. Are we really setting aside the 10th for the Lord? Because it's when we set it aside, we really say, God, we acknowledge you, we trust in you, we depend on you. And sometimes we have fear, and the fear is like, well, if I give this money, I don't know tomorrow if I'll get my check or my next job or my next project. But I want to say rely on the Lord, because He will send it to you. And so I just encourage everybody here. This is just an amazing work of the Lord, and we could all, this is just learn from this and be faithful to the Lord. Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
I'm so excited today. I can't even wait.
All right.
But many years ago, I'm from Jamaica, and I came from a underprivileged family. We didn't have anything. I don't want to use the word poor, but we didn't have. God made it happen that I was awarded a scholarship to go to one of the most prestigious schools in Jamaica, but it's a Christian base. The problem was, I got a scholarship for the school fees, but I didn't have the money for food and clothing and all this stuff. Well, I was a little bit embarrassed, so, they gave us like 25 cents. And I used to buy like, I'm getting there. Like an orange and some peanuts, and drank some water. So nobody knew. I used to hide in the bush and I used to pretend that I had it because everybody had it. I didn't have it. I felt out of place. But there was a teacher. I don't know how he found out. But one day he said, Lorna, you're hungry, are you? I'm like, yes. You don't have any food, don't you? No. You don't have any money? I said, no, sir. And he immediately arranged for me to have food. Not only food, they provided lunch, and he gave me $2 every week for transportation and books. Now what I'm saying is that sometimes when we go through hardship, we don't see God. We think God is not there. We think that He's not taking care of you. You think that you're just going through the road and He's not there. That's the moment I saw God. So after I graduated, I lost touch. But I always remembered Him. And I always prayed, Lord, one day, please, let me locate Him to tell Him thank. Because it's because of His kindness and His generosity that allowed me to be where I am today. Because the opportunity to go into that school was the biggest opportunity in my life, and the first person in my family that ever passed the exam to even attend high school, especially at that kind. So 3 days ago on Friday, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I just said, I have to meet my teacher. I have to find my teacher. And I believe God is going to allow me to meet my teacher. So we had a school reunion. The first time in many years, it's the first time I've been. And I saw this lady, and I said to her, do you know the name of this teacher? I'm trying to locate him. She said, yes, he's my friend. Wow. I said, what? Give me his number now. And she gave me his number. I couldn't wait. 6 o'clock, early in the morning, I'm calling him. And the thing about it, he didn't remember what he did. But I remembered. So they allowed me to give the testimony at the school reunion. I had no idea. It went all over Jamaica. It went to the principal of the school, and all different people hear about it. And now I'm going to be going back to Jamaica to that school to encourage the kids. Now, when I look back, if you knew my beginning and how difficult life was for me, I would never even dream or imagine that I would be going back to school, back to that auditorium where every single Monday we had church, because it was built on Christian principle. So the seeds were already sown in my life that today I am a Christian. But going back to Jamaica, the door opened for me to go back to Jamaica to speak to the kids, entering that auditorium, entering that campus again on a different level. It has to be God. And sometimes we find ourselves in situations, but we don't realize, like Joseph, that he is preparing us for Egypt. Okay? And I look back on it, and God brought me to this ministry. And the deliverance that I got broke all these barriers and all these restrictions. And each person, you have a destiny. And sometimes the destiny that you have is to bring deliverance and freedom to others. And the enemy knows that, and he blocks you and keep you from moving forward. Pastor Danny, I want to take this opportunity to thank you very much and your team for your patience, your understanding, and you see more than I saw when I just came, messed up, broken up. You never gave up on me. You never said one day I'm tired of you. Today, the Lord sent somebody in my home that's about to commit suicide. And how do I know about ministering to somebody? Because I've been that road too. Where I tried to take my life, but God saved me. So I could be able to relate to that sister today. And I'm just saying, I am so much in appreciation for all the work, the patience, because if it wasn't for the deliverance, this opportunity wouldn't be open. And these is the things that the enemy see, your destiny, see what you're going to be and the difference you're going to make in people's life, and he blocks you. So for those who are here for deliverance, don't quit, don't stop, just keep pressing on, because you don't know where God is taking you, you don't know what door is going to be open, you don't know what your destiny is in terms of deliverance. And I just say thank you, sir. Praise the Lord, everybody. Just want to share this testimony. The Bible says, be careful because you entertain angels unaware. I'm over the City of Study Ministry at the Church of the Lighthouse. Every third Saturday we go out. So we went out third Saturday, went to Glenwood, went to the nursing home, prayed with everybody. And when we got through, we decided to go to IHOP on Ponce de Leon, not knowing what God had for us when we got there. Got there, and I'm sitting with my team, and we're talking. You never know who's watching and looking at what you're doing. So as we were sitting and talking, this Caucasian man and his wife came up to me. You know, I guess he knew that I was a leader of the group, I guess because I was talking and giving instructions. He says, you know what? This is such a blessing, this group that you have here. He said, I'm just amazed, you know, how God is. I see this, that you all are being used by God. And he says, now I'm in the same type of ministry, and I'm from Dallas. And his wife said, we want a picture. I mean, his wife took the camera out, takes a picture of me and her husband. And we're on Facebook, so it's on Facebook. I'm telling you, it's on Facebook. And I mean, I think the whole place stopped because this man made such a big to-do out of it, and I know it was God. Even the waiter, his name was Jonathan. I said, I know this is God, because that's my baby's name, Jonathan. And so we got ready to pay, and we said, we're ready to pay our bill. And Jonathan said, oh no, your bill was paid in full. So your bill was $89. He paid for everybody's meal. And you just don't know who's listening. So as we proceeded to go out the door, a lot of other people came out the door. And then there was a man that came over and says, I know that you are some praying women. And he said, there's a vacant lot over here off Ponce de Leon, right across the street. He said, there has been about 9 killings for the last 2 weeks. He said, would you all please point your hands toward this vacant lot, because we're tired of the killing. We're tired of young people dying. And I'm telling you, we stood there with our hands facing the vacant lot, and we began to bind and ask God to send angels of protection. And here are people standing around watching and looking. And I'm saying, God, you're just so awesome. You just don't never know how God's going to use you. So be careful where you go, because you're entertaining angels all around. And I mean, people were just celebrating us and just blessing us. And I just thank God for that testimony. And again, if you want to see the pictures, we're all on Facebook. Praise God.
Okay, well, guess I'm going to give y'all a testimony about the Bible study. We had Bible study at the house, and I imagine at the apartment, we had maybe 20 people, a bunch of young people. And we just tried to teach people about Jesus. And we were blessed to have some of the ministers there. And I just wanted to remind everybody, when you're trying to learn, sometimes you can be intimidated. You look at the Bible and you don't know what's going on with it. Sometimes it just needs to be broke down a little bit. And just start off small, sharing with some of the young people, not getting too far ahead. Just questions like, opening doors and someone else asks what does standing in the gap means. Sometimes we assume that people already know these things, but we need to go back to the beginning. So remember when you were in pre-K and somebody from college tried to talk to you, not necessarily understanding what they're talking about. Now you may sit there and nod your head because you don't want to be embarrassed. But if we just take the time and explain it, and I'll give you an example of that. This is my bride, everyone. Would you be so kind as to explain what you do for a living?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I work at a technology company, and right now I'm currently working on a project where we're importing data from a variety of different TPAs. We're going to take it, map it into the system, and then we're going to load that into a sandbox where the client will be able to run SQL queries to extract their information and run different analytics.
That was Greek, right? That's the point I'm trying to make. Amen.
Demonstration's always great. Today I had to drive to Augusta for work, and while I was driving, I had my podcast playing, and it's just a moment of peace and quiet, pretty much for me. So I was enjoying the ride. It was good for a minute, and then out of nowhere, I kind of had like a vision of something kind of attacking the car. So I just said a quick prayer. I said, God, I've already prayed over the car, whatever that is, don't let the enemy get that. Don't let him get that win. And I just kept driving. A few minutes later, out of nowhere, just a heavy downpour. I mean, buckets of water. It was so heavy, you couldn't see to the left or to the right to even pull over safely. So you just had to really just slow down. You barely could see in front of you. And I thought, oh God, I can't, it's raining so bad, I can't see to even pull over, so I'm just going to slow down, put on my blinkers. And the car in front of me lost control and was swerving and, hydroplaning, and I was just pleading the blood of Jesus. But before that happened, I'm jumping because I'm excited. Before the downpour, I had the vision, I prayed real quick, and then I went into my heavenly prayer. And I was like, that's kind of a warfare prayer. What's going on here, Lord? And so that went forth, and then it just kind of ceased, and I just kept driving, and then the downpour came. And then the car in front of me lost control, was swerving and struggling to get control, and I just slowed down and was just pleading the blood of Jesus. And that actually happened twice. They lost control of their car twice. And I just thank God that they didn't wreck, that they were able to regain control of their car, because it could have been a crash. I could have crashed into them if they had, something. And just as quick as the downpour came, it went. Isn't that something? You never can take that for granted. Sometimes we're just in a rush, we jump in the car and we just go, we just jump up in the morning and go. But I've just learned to just slow down and say that prayer. And I always ask God to send angels ahead to clear the path, to not only cover the car from mechanical issues, tires and the engine and all that stuff, right? Because if you've ever broken down, you learn to pray that prayer, right? Especially if you're a woman driving by yourself. But I also ask God to send angels to clear the path, to give me a safe journey going with no incidents, setbacks, retaliation, backlash, revenge, anything, none. I need to get there on time. I need to be safe while I'm there. I need to get back. One piece, safely, where I went. And so I thank God that He honored that prayer, because there are a lot of fatalities, here in Georgia, just from rain or just air, people doing stuff behind the wheel that they shouldn't. So I thank God that I'm safe. Yes. The people were safe. We're all safe. So the angels kept everybody safe in front of me and behind me. I thank God for
that. Okay, Pastor David.
Okay, I'm up. Or no more testimonies. Okay.
Gosh, I just want to sit and listen to testimonies. This is good. This is great. Oh my gosh. Wow, I'm telling you, it was a great worship service.